5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, guys. We're here on another episode of the Cleaning Out My Closet podcast. I'm joined by nobody. It's just me by myself today. Just me. No one else is here.
Hey.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I forget about that.
Everyone's
okay.
favorite Mexican.
I guess I'm not here by myself.
No, we also got that
that's
fucking piece of shit Craig with us.
Yeah, Craig is here. I love Craig, man.
He was
Craig's my favorite.
Our guest last episode. He said literally nothing, so we're hoping this week he speaks up. He's got a lot to say when he's off air, so let's hope it just translates when he's fucking has that mic to his face.
Now recording. Dude, I do the best impression of Craig. Craig is literally this bot that we use to record our video because we have to record separately whenever we're at home to do the podcasts. And what's interesting about this episode is this is technically a bonus episode for this week because we normally, as of right now, all we've been doing is just like usually one episode a week. Sometimes we'll do two, but usually then it's like in the studio.
Right.
So this is the first time we've done a bonus episode separately. And yeah, we just felt like doing it for... Actually, it was your idea to do this episode. Yeah, so I'll let you take the lead on this.
For sure. So yeah, actually yesterday I called and we kind of talked about it. Like it's been... the 4th of July is tomorrow, and it feels like I didn't even know that the fucking 4th of July was here. Yeah, I was just driving around, and I saw the fireworks stands and stuff, and I'm just like, didn't really think anything about it. And then I saw my schedule and something about like, holiday pay and stuff, and I was like, oh fuck, it's the 4th of July. So it's like we have to do some type of 4th of July Independence Day episode, even though this episode will be released after the fact, but still. In the moment, we're here in heart. So I wanted to, obviously dedicate this episode to the one person that saved us all from getting destroyed by a whole fucking race of aliens. Obviously, Will Smith is who I'm talking about. Yeah, without him, I just don't know what this day would be looking like right now. It wouldn't be the same. So I just wanted to...
First of all, I had no idea. I totally forgot the 4th of July existed, to be honest with you. I called Ginger Sean the other day and I was like, hey man, I got paid today. That's weird. You know what I mean? And it was like a Thursday because we get paid on a Friday. So I was like, did you get paid? And he goes, yeah, it's because of the holiday weekend. And I'm like, oh really? What holiday? And I'm just thinking it's going to be some fucking like Labor Day, Groundhog's Day, some shit like nobody gives a fuck about that we always forget about.
Yeah, leap year.
And he's like, fucking 4th of July? And I was like, oh yeah, that's a fucking thing. I totally forgot about that. Dude, I've been seeing the fireworks things around when I drive.
Too. Like, I didn't even think about it too for like the past week.
I didn't put it together. There's way too much shit going on for me to fucking remember. Right. That the 4th of July is a fucking thing. Are you kidding me? We shouldn't even be like... I saw a fucking thing today that was like, you shouldn't be using hand sanitizer because it could be flammable when you're lighting your fireworks. But anyways...
I mean, it probably is true. You ever do the Purell thing?
Let's talk about this Will Smith, the Smith family situation going on right now, because this shit is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, so I mean, I called you the other day. We always, have just random phone calls where we go back and forth on just different things we've heard, kind of just prepping for podcast. Did you hear the latest shit that's going on with Will Smith? And you're like, no, I heard some shit about Willow Smith. Is that what you're talking about? I was like, no, not Willow, Will Smith.
Yeah.
So this whole shit, and I didn't look too much into it. I was just like shocked at the fact of what it was. But this singer August Alsina was on the podcast, or not podcast, but the Breakfast Club, sorry. And he was just doing the whole interview, and he was talking with Angela Yee, one of the ladies that's on that show, and he started talking about relationships and stuff. And I guess for the past few years now,
can we just say this one thing though?
What's that?
He's putting out an album. Like he's doing promotion for his album. So I want to be real, like straight up about this. And I think this is very suspect what this guy said, but go ahead and say that. I just want to put that out there right now that like You picked a really convenient fucking time to start
no,
coming
I'm
forward with
sure.
this shit that's allegedly been going on for like years.
Right. And then I also want to put this out too. So last episode, you were just happened to be drinking Canada Dry. I am too. No
Dude,
sponsorship, but it was just a random thing. I mean,
dude,
what's
Canada
up, Coke?
Dry,
Yeah,
sponsor us. Who owns that shit? Is that 7 Up? 7 Up owns Canada Dry, I think.
yeah, I think so. That's the only fucking ginger ale I
It's the
fuck with.
only good drink that they make.
Yeah. Yeah, this is true. But anyways, before we get too derailed, and you may have to stop me a couple times because, like I told you before we started this podcast, while I was waiting for you, had a couple bowls, so I'm on a pretty good level right now. So
Oh
bear
my
with me,
god,
everyone. This is gonna be
this
really
is
a
gonna be
fun
great.
episode. But no, so he came out saying that the accusations that have been said about him and Jada Pinkett Smith about them having an off and on again relationship are true, and what had happened was Will Smith actually gave him his
Buy my
blessing.
CD. Buy my CD. It's
What up?
like
What
it's
up?
true.
He's putting that shit inside the McDonald's. Did you hear about that shit? I think it happened here in Florida too.
Yeah. The
Uh,
guy putting his fucking
Mixtapes,
mixtape. Fantastic. I love that shit.
marketing
That's a
genius.
real entrepreneur.
Oh yeah,
Entrepreneur.
entrepreneur. That's a
All right,
weird
go
name.
ahead.
So yeah, he's just basically saying that Will Smith gave him his blessing, that Will Smith and
Fantastic.
Jada were technically married, but not in the physical sense. So he's just been smashing. So he's like, I want people to not be hating on me and shit. Da da da.
I will say, first of all, shut the fuck up. He's so full of shit. He's like, I don't want people to hate on me. I'm not a troublemaker. I'm not a pot stirrer. I'm not trying to stir things up or anything. Like, shut up. Why the fuck would you go on a fucking like morning show to talk about this in the first place? The only thing you have to gain from this is like the notoriety that you'll get from it, because these rumors exist and you're putting out an album. So you like who what would you have you would have gained nothing other than just like that, the popularity, or not even the popularity, but just like people
It's
just
just the controversy
now people
thing,
know
so
his
people are
fucking
going
name.
to it. Yeah.
I didn't know who the fuck this guy was. I wasn't aware because first of all, I don't give
Yeah.
two shits about the Smith family. Like Will Smith
Mm.
hasn't made a good movie in like over a decade, so why the fuck should I give a shit?
Oh man. So you're
But
telling me you're smashing Jada as well? Is that what you're coming out telling me?
dude, maybe this guy's fucking the whole family. I've seen Jaden Smith wear those fucking skirts and shit like that.
I mean, from the right angle, he kind of does look like Willow. So
Dude. There's a whole bunch of controversy because you were like, did you hear about Jada Pinkett Smith and the Will Smith thing and blah blah blah, this guy, that guy? I was like, no, didn't hear about it. I was like, but I heard about Willow Smith, this whole thing. So this
yeah.
fucking
So tell me about that.
there's this YouTuber named Shane Dawson, and I feel like every 6 months he's in a different controversy because of his past content. And I want to preface this by saying I think he makes some of the shittiest content that I've ever seen. I think past and currently. I think he just makes shit content. And I think it's like real lowbrow shit. He did like a lot of like impression, like he would like dress up like ratchet bitches and like just be fucking, ratchet, dress up in blackface and be ratchet.
God.
Just be real stereotype. Like that was his humor. It was super lowbrow stuff that was just like,
so you're just like 10 years too early for TikTok.
I'm eating this fried chicken and these watermelons, y'all. And like, it's so distasteful. Like, just like, what the fuck are you even doing? Like, I don't know. I don't know who the fuck found that funny, but somebody sure did. And he's famous as fuck. You know what I mean? He doesn't do that stuff anymore. And I guess like he's made apologies about stuff like his past content before and whatever. But basically, every couple of months, something he said previously years ago comes up and like, it's not good. It's just not good.
Yeah.
And he does like a lot of dark humor and just fucked up humor, and shock humor is probably the best way to describe him. Like he'll just say something to get, like a year ago he was in trouble because people were accusing him of fucking his cat because he made a joke about coming on his cat, and he was like, I've never come. Then he had to like make a public apology, and he was like, I've never come on my cat. That's just like, who the fuck needs this to be said? Like, who needs somebody to actually come out here and like publicly claim that they've never fucking come on their cat?
I mean, I feel like Bert Kreischer probably needs to come out and say he's fucked a dog, but I mean, it's not cats, different thing.
I mean, I could not agree with you anymore. I think no matter what side of the argument you fall under, I think we can all agree with that. So
No, I
that's
actually have a
definitely
quick theory about his whole showering in the pool thing. So,
for
so
those
my
of you who don't know, Julian's talking about comedian Bert Kreischer. But go ahead.
yeah, so he doesn't shower your traditional type of shower. I wouldn't even call what he does any type of form of showering, but he just hops in the pool and fucking calls it good.
Oh
But my
god, dude,
theory
it's so
on this,
nasty.
dude, that is fucking disgusting.
Is
He's a
I
gross man.
honestly, as nasty as Bert is, in the nicest way possible, because I don't mean this in a mean way, because I like him and I like his wife,
Yeah,
but
you know him
I
personally, right?
think his wife is even more gross for having sex with him
This
when
is
he
true.
does this. And he talks about like how he gets blowjobs from her, and she's like, "Oh, this woman really knows how to suck a dick," like stuff like that. And I'm just like, you don't even wash your dick.
Oh, dude, I never even thought of it from that point. That is a filthy bitch in
Oh
the
my god.
nicest way possible.
In the nicest way
Yeah,
possible.
and the
Oh,
best
you
HR.
fucking dirty whore. I love you, grandma.
Mwah. But no, I think the reason why he does that though, on the beside the fact that he's just a nasty fuck, the
Mm,
chlorine gets all the scent of dog off of him. So you can't be coming fucking home smelling like stray dog. That
that's
shit
true. That's
stinks.
true.
It's like you know what a stray dog smells like. You don't want to come home smelling like that. Hop in the fucking pool. He's like, whoa, the first time he did it, he's like freaked out, came home, and he's like, my wife's gonna smell the dog on me. What do I do? So he's
Dude,
like, oh, just fucking hops in the pool. She's like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm taking a shower. And that's where it
did
started.
you hear about this Harvard graduate who like lost her potential job
What
because she
happened?
posted a TikTok video?
Oh God, I'm glad you brought TikTok up, but go ahead.
Okay, next thing we can talk, we can get into TikTok
I
because of
can't
this.
believe this.
I don't know if you heard about this, but she posted a video on TikTok and
Okay.
she starts ranting. She starts going off about like I guess Trump supporters and all lives matter and stuff like that. And she goes, anyone who says all lives matter, I'll stab you. It's got like a comical feel to it, but it's also just like she goes on for a while about this shit.
So she might be a little bit more serious than she's
And so
putting
she
off.
like, no, I think ultimately I'm pretty sure she was joking. Like it came off like a joke to me. So I think it's ridiculous that people got up in arms about it. But the thing is, like, if people make jokes about that when they're talking about Black Lives Matter or something like that, and they post something and then they wind up losing their jobs, you know, it is what it is.
Right.
Like you should probably be more careful about everybody. You know what I mean? Like when you're talking about
Mhm.
subjects like that, like
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, we
so
we
I
we
think we
joke
just need
about
to be
shit, but
like probably don't go around telling people you're gonna stab them. Like that might be bar none the top thing you don't want to do when you're like fucking
that's a bad look.
I don't even know what the fuck the job was. Like she could have been running for a fucking like high top like position in goddamn NASA or some shit. And
Let's fuck.
and she's over
Elon
here
will pick
talking
her
about
up for X
stabbing fucking
Force.
people. Yeah, I was
X.
thinking like who's gonna be the first company that tries to like offer her a job or something like that?
It'll be Elon. It has
It'll
to
be
be.
us.
If she's
It'll be
oh
us.
yeah,
Yeah.
secretary. We need ginger
We're
secretary.
gonna put that degree to work. She's probably got like a fucking law degree. Like
We ultimately might need a lawyer down the line. I mean,
yeah.
it
We're
wouldn't
like,
be bad
trust
to
me,
have
we're gonna
one.
put you through the ringer. What did you specialize in? Okay, you're gonna need to get a couple more degrees. Let me tell you that right now.
Yeah, that sounds pathetic.
No, I saw that
How
and I
many
was
degrees do we have?
like, yeah, altogether.
Combined, I got I think we got a GED, a high school diploma, and like a semester of college. So what up, baby?
Yeah, I think another 15 years and Sean will be halfway to maybe getting his degree. So we'll see about that.
I think, yeah, I mean, how many years does it take to get a master in fucking, was it underwater basket weaving with a minor in acting? Oh no.
Wait,
But
what do you want
I'm
to talk
glad you
about
brought,
TikTok?
yes, I'm glad you brought TikTok up because um, right before we started the podcast, I was actually on the phone with my brother Daniel. And
Mm,
he's like, yo, did you hear about the shit with TikTok and
yeah.
Anonymous? I was like, no,
Oh
what
my
happened?
god, what's going on? Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
so I guess yesterday, that the hacker, the hacktivists or whatever the fuck they call themselves,
Mhm.
they're hackers, anonymous.
They
Yeah, they're hackers.
joined the chat right now. We're like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
God
fuck.
damn it! Just
Here we
like this, it's gonna
go."
happen. Epstein did not kill him. Are you typing this?
I'm like, "I guys, we really liked V for Vendetta. Please don't dox us."
Yeah,
All
it
right,
was
go
pretty
ahead.
dope. Yeah, so anyways, they put out a video basically saying, "Delete TikTok. It is, spyware from the Chinese government."
Mhm.
This guy put out I think it was on Reddit, a bunch of videos. He's like kind of reverse engineered the TikTok app and proved that they're doing some shady shit with it.
Yeah,
And
no
so
shit.
they're like,
Didn't they already
"Oh
prove
yeah, of
this though?
course." I'm pretty sure. I mean, I know since
There
pretty
were
much since it's
rumors
been
at
out.
least.
Yeah.
Listen, I've heard these rumors and I pretty much believed them, and I still have
And he
the
said,
app. So
I mean, yeah,
it's
realistically, what
it's like telling
cool
a
shit are
smoker
they
they're
gonna get
gonna
from
get
me?
cancer. Like,
It happens. Wait, you get oh shit.
nah, you're
I better
fine.
cook.
You're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll be great. As you chug your
I'll be
fucking
the
soda.
the 1%er that makes it out. I'll be good.
You're like, "Yeah, I'm the epitome of man." Just fucking, like,
Oh,
chugging your soda and smoking your cigarette. Like, I just had, like,
yeah.
3 bowls.
What up? No, but, yeah, I mean, I know, like, India has already completely banned TikTok.
Oh,
They
really?
deleted yeah, completely. It's not you can't find it on the Apple Store, Google
That's
Play, none of that shit.
amazing.
Yeah, they're not playing,
They're not fucking
and
around.
hell no. And, I remember reading an article just about that, because there's such a big percentage of people from India that fucking had TikTok because they got, like, 6 trillion fucking people there, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
And so they
Indian TikTok is crazy. Have you seen the people in
no.
India posting this? They posted
Oh my
most terrible fucking videos. They think they're so funny. Oh my
I've
god.
seen the ones I do see, not the funny ones, but it's like nice gestures, and it's like I saw this one where there's like they're in line for fucking McDonald's or some shit, and this guy comes in on crutches with like a broken foot, and the guy up front just like lets him go,
It's always
and
the
then the
most
person
ridiculous
behind
thing, yeah.
yeah, it's like who gives a fuck? If someone walks in with a broken foot, I'm looking at him like, fuck you, you should have fell and broke your foot. All right, give me 2 McChickens plain, large fries. What the fuck's this weirdo thing? Like he's just looking
Mhm.
at me like I'm gonna let him up front. Like, the fuck out of here. You want to get stabbed?
Oh my god. You know, that reminds me of that thing that I told you recently where I finally had that situation happen to me. I don't think I talked about this on the podcast where I was getting
What's
food
that?
at a drive-through. I told you about this, but I don't think I
Oh,
talked
yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
yeah. No, I don't think you
I
have.
was getting food at a drive-through and I pull up to the thing. I only spent like a couple dollars. It was like less than $10. And I go to hand my card to the lady at the window and she goes, "Oh, the woman in front of you, she paid for your food." And I go, "Uh, oh." And that's
No.
never happened to me before. So I was like shocked for a second. So I still was holding my card out to her as if to give it to her because I was like, I don't know what to like. My brain shut down for a second, and I've never not paid for my food at a fucking drive-through. So I
Yeah, no,
was
that's
like,
never happened to
so
me.
confusing to me. So I put my card back, and I was just like, okay. And then, just like everyone in that situation, you have that moment where you go, "Am I now obligated to pay for the person behind me?" And then I sat there for about 2 seconds, waiting for them to hand me my food,
It's probably like 20 seconds.
and then I go, no, fuck that. So I was like, she was like returning some kindness to me to bring out into the universe. And like it
What if
ended right there with me. I was like, fuck these people. I'm not paying for your shit. Cause I thought to myself, I was like, I gotta ask, first of all, I've got to ask this lady, okay, how much did they buy? And then I gotta
that's
be
the
like,
key
wait a minute,
factor. If
20.
it's coffee,
Yeah, if it's like,
that's okay.
but then I was like, but then I'm that asshole that asked how much it was. I wasn't the guy that was just willing to like, oh, go ahead. And then and then I thought maybe she asked how much I bought. And then she did the same thing. But then
Ah,
I was like, but then she's that asshole.
but you'll never know. You're just gonna think she's that fucking good Samaritan.
Ultimately, I drove away and I fucking laughed. Excuse me, guys.
What time was that when you went to that store? Do you remember roughly what time it was?
It was early in the
Uh,
morning. It was a Dunkin' Donuts.
so they've probably been open for like maybe a few hours or something.
Yeah,
Maybe an hour.
I mean, there was a huge rush. They're always busy, Dunkin' Donuts. So it was
So
like a
could
fucking
you
line
imagine?
all
Oh
the way
yeah, fuck
around.
that. pretty much every single person that started with the first person that came up. It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna buy the person behind me, and they kept
Yes.
doing it, and you were that asshole. I was like, no, fuck
I'm
these
the guy that cut
assholes.
the fucking I ended it right there. No more
They were on
reincarnations
number
for you.
99. They're like waiting. No wonder number 100 was gonna get a fucking free gift card if
Yeah,
he
but
did it, and that was
can
you.
you
You
imagine how
fucking
annoying that must be for the fucking employees where they have to be like,
yeah.
"Oh, fucking another one. Okay, this one you paid for that one," and they have to keep track. And they're like, "Okay, so that car we don't have to. All right, no, not that one, but okay." And they're just like, it's
Dude,
fucking annoying. It's annoying.
no, it'd be even more annoying when they pull up and they have a fucking camera ready. Be like, so I'm buying the people behind me their stuff. I'll be
Oh
dude,
my
some
god,
fast food.
dude!
We talked about that
Imagine
last episode, but
Imagine they were like, it was a YouTube video or something like that, and then they came up to my car afterwards and they're like, "Hey, how are you? Like, are you enjoying the food? It's good. It's great, right? Did you pay for the people behind you like you should have, you piece of shit?" I'm like,
uh,
"Yeah, of course I did. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm gonna keep that
that
shit
video's gonna
going."
get 1 million views while our fucking episodes will get like 20.
Oh my god, yeah, we're fucked. We're not doing anything with this. That's why we got to start our
Mm.
OnlyFans as soon as possible. Did you hear
Yeah,
about
no,
Mount Rushmore?
Mount Rushmore. No, I
I
did
didn't. I
not.
didn't even know about this, and I was on Twitter today, like
I mean,
looking.
I know what it is. Did something happen? Did the back half of
All right,
the
go ahead and tell me
mountain?
what Mount Rushmore is. Go ahead. I'll wait.
Uh, I'm listening. What is it?
So basically, basically, they're tribal leaders in South Dakota are asking for Mount Rushmore to be like, I don't know, removed, taken down. First of all, I don't know how the fuck that works. I don't even know
It's a
how that
fucking
works.
mountain. We have just get your fucking
Dynamite.
car jacks and fucking pop it up, boop, 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 put it on a fucking trailer, and just
I was saying
you
to
can just
Benexi,
do
like, what if they just hire like one Italian guy with scaffolding and like a chisel, and they just have him slowly like, and he's just breaking like little piece by piece, and after like 9 years, he finally gets the whole thing done. It's like, yeah,
I
it's
think
gone.
it probably take longer than that.
So
I think
they're
9 years. You're aiming pretty high there, my friend.
and so apparently it was built on land that was formerly owned, that formerly belonged to a specific tribe of Native Americans. I think it was like,
Didn't all of America though?
yeah, right. They're like, all right, next, take down the Empire State Building. We need
That
that
shit's going
fucking place gone. And they're like, that's the White House. Gone. Did you not hear me? Gone.
You could keep that. Why the Six Flags? We like the Six Flags.
So I just thought it was like, oh, and apparently the guy who sculpted that shit was had connections to the KKK. But it's just like,
Well, I mean, how long ago was that sculpted?
very
Fucking
fucking
forever.
yeah, of course.
I'm not proud of it, but I mean, pretty much everyone back then was fucking a slave owner, or not. Well, they were fucking slave owners, but they were slave owners, right?
Yeah,
So
right.
I mean, that's pretty much, you could probably pick 10 people, and 8 of them are probably going to be slave
Well,
owners
that's the
back
thing.
then.
It's like everyone up there on the monument also
Oh,
owned slaves too.
That is true. Yeah, I didn't even think about that either.
Which, see,
Take George
I
Washington
totally
off
get
the
it
bill.
because we're doing the whole thing now where we're taking down the statues, we're taking down the monuments and stuff like that. But then it's gonna get to the part where where they're just like, the guy who built the Empire State Building said something about Taiwanese people in 2000 and whatever. Some shit.
They have some fucking really fucked up audio clip of some gurgled noises and like maybe a slightly racist thing for Taiwanese people. So yeah, he'd fucking cancel his ass.
Yeah.
And Empire State Building gone.
But
What do you-
I'm not even really opposed to it, but now I just feel like I have to go there because it's going to be fucking gone in my lifetime. Like, I never wanted to see that fucking place before, but now I feel like, oh great, I'm not going to be able to see a bunch of giant faces on a mountain. Now I got to go see that shit.
you think that's what happened to the Twin Towers?
They were like, man, we're really keyed up to see these fucking towers. We can't wait. We can't even let these pilots take us there. It's going to take too long. We got to take control of this shit. Like, I want the real up close and personal fucking view of this shit.
Oh fuck yeah. So real quick, another
I'm gonna do something magical right now. Are you ready for
you're
that?
gonna get a boner.
I would like a glass of orange juice, please.
You forgot to say Siri. Siri,
We're gonna see if my magic powers work or not.
Let's see. While we do that, I wanted to tell you that I had read an article. What's
Yeah,
up?
go ahead.
Oh,
No, you're
yeah,
you're
I
fine.
read an article that kind of tied in with something we had talked about a couple episodes ago with the drive-in movie theaters.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it, but I guess Walmart, I don't know like where, but like 160 of their stores are going to dedicate like the parking lot for like drive-in movie theaters and shit
Hmm.
like that. Like that's kind of cool. I mean, I just don't know what locations. I didn't see too much information on it. I think it might be like kind of like the traveling circus though. Like it just like starts from California and like slowly
Oh, I thought you were
like
gonna I thought you meant, there's gonna be a bunch of murders that, like, follow along with it or something.
well, I mean, it's the parking lot of Walmart,
Bunch of
doesn't that
people
just
are
come
gonna
with the
go missing.
territory?
Yeah, that's what you meant. A bunch of people are gonna go missing. Yeah, I got it, just like the traveling circus, of course.
Yeah,
No,
that's exactly what I was looking for.
one of the things I was gonna say was when it comes to the Mount Rushmore, um,
Mhm.
I think it's funny that we're, like, going on this thing to get rid of Mount Rushmore, but we still have the fucking Washington Redskins around. Thank you.
No, I guarantee. Yo, you got a mobile Siri? What the fuck?
I go, I guess my powers aren't working because I wanted a glass of orange juice, and I get
What she give you?
like a sip of orange juice in here. I'm
Well, you go through juice like no other person, so sip to you is probably oh god, get it.
A
I
sip
guess
to
that
me is
wasn't
like a fucking drop.
pretty much.
There's another one in there. No, but so that we've still got the fucking Washington Redskins. That
No, I think they're gonna be like that's gonna definitely be a fucking the
oh,
next major thing.
that
Yeah, it
can,
has to.
that
Like
cannot
it's
make it into 2021. Okay, like
no.
that's ridiculous. That's fucking ridiculous. It's a racial slur that we're still using as the name of a fucking football team. Even the mascot is just like,
And not only that, they get paid, they make money off of merchandise that has this racial fucking
mhm,
slur on it,
mhm,
which is fucking crazy as
dude.
well.
I mean,
So
like,
that thing that's gonna be the next thing to go for
imagine a
sure.
hockey team that was the Jim Crows, and it was just like one of those fucking like menstrual, like fucking terrible depictions of blackface.
It could just be like a
Oh,
crow.
thank you.
Thank you, Siri.
You can hear her pouring.
You got that fucking advanced model.
Thank you. I go. I was like, "Can I? I'm gonna use my powers to get some orange juice." And I'm like, "Can I have a glass of orange juice?" And she looks over at me with this side eye, like she was gonna fucking kill me. And she picked up a fucking what the fuck is that? A rolling pin, like she was gonna beat the shit out of
Uh,
me with it.
that's after the cameras are off. She's gonna fuck you up.
She's about to
I
Johnny Depp
really
Amber Heard me.
oh god.
Her
Hey,
face.
just keep your phone in your pocket and record. We will get through this and have a part 1 and part 2 episode about the whole situation.
Dude, speaking of recording, did you see that fucking that video? It's floating around right now of that lady, that white lady who pulled the gun in the argument with that black lady and her kids?
Yeah, wasn't that like outside like a Chipotle
Chipotle,
or
yeah.
fucking Chick-fil-A or some
So
shit?
I only saw half the video the first time I saw it, which paints a very different situation than what it turned out
That's
to be.
always the issue with those fucking videos. They never show you the beginning and the end. It's always like clips of it, and so
Mhm.
you never get the full story.
So when I saw the video, I was just like, "Wow, that's fucking ridiculous." Like, obviously, they were both at fault no matter what because this lady's trying to leave the situation. These people are antagonizing her, you know.
Mhm.
And I was just like, but I understand because it's your child. Like, you're upset because apparently this white woman bumped her child when they were inside a Chipotle or walking out of Chipotle or something like that.
Right.
And she's like, I don't know, like a teenager, I guess, or whatever. And then they start recording, and then they start accusing her of like bumping her on purpose and like saying she's a racist. It's just like I don't know where you're getting that shit from at all. So this lady apologizes. She says like I'm not racist. I'm so sorry. You know, like
How the
and
fuck did I still haven't watched the video yet, so
I
how the
saw
fuck did it get to the point
I saw the whole
where
thing. So they're just antagonizing this lady over and over and over again, getting in her face, calling her racist. She apologizes to them and tries to leave, get into her car. And then they
Yeah.
start cursing her out, calling her all this shit. They start the guy she was with that was driving, they start calling him shit. They were like, "You white piece of shit, white mother, oh, like this and that, like do something,
Uh,
oh, blah blah blah," like all this stuff. So then they're trying to leave and they get behind the car and they won't let them back out. So then she gets out of the
oh,
car to tell them, "We're trying to go, let me leave, I'm not racist. I'm sorry. Again, I apologize, blah blah blah. Keep going, keep going, keep going." And then she's like pulls out the gun. And I was like, "Oh man, what are you doing? What are you doing?" Not to her or the other one, to both of them. You're fucking
no,
adults. What the fuck are you doing?
that's some petty ass shit.
Like what do you have to gain from this? I mean, obviously, I know
Mhm.
what they have to gain from it because apparently she got arrested and stuff like that. But I mean, it's fucked up. These people were antagonizing her, and I can understand if I'm in that situation. I don't know what the fuck is about to happen right now. They're
Right, especially
surrounding,
with all the
they're surrounding
tension
my
with
car.
everything
I don't give
going
a fuck if you have kids there because I don't know what you're willing to do with your fucking children present, bro. Like, I don't know you.
on, especially if they're willing to at least like it takes a certain person to even like say approach like a complete stranger and have some
Mhm.
conflict confrontation with them. So like if she's willing to at least do all that shit, and like you said, I didn't see the whole video. I didn't watch any of it actually, because I actually
I'll send
just
it to
saw
you.
the little shit of it, and I was like, okay, probably just another typical bullshit that's been going on,
Yeah.
but apparently it wasn't, which is
That's what I thought. That's what I thought when
shitty.
I first saw the first half of it, or the last half of it, which I thought was the whole video, which was them
Mhm.
saying, like, at this point in the conversation, the woman who's recording is much calmer. She's like, "Why did you hit my daughter? Like, I don't understand. Why are you trying to leave? Why'd you hit my daughter? I don't get it." And this woman is aggravated and she's agitated. And I go, "She needs to calm down." But that's me not knowing that there's more of this where she tried to
Right.
diffuse the situation. She apologized. She tried to leave and she tried to come to an understanding with them. And when all of that went down, they started surrounding her and they wouldn't allow her to leave. So
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
fuck that. I mean, personally, I wouldn't have pulled out the gun unless
Yeah,
I
I
felt like my life was threatened, but I definitely would have been down to scrap with somebody if you're gonna fucking like surround my car and you don't let me leave. I'm like, all right, then fuck it, let's go. Like,
has there been, like, any other people saying like that were actually present, like when shit happened, like saying anything about it,
that
or
much
is it
I
just
don't know.
the
I didn't
video?
even look into like testimonies
Any
from anybody who
details?
was there or anything like that, but I'll send you the whole video. It's
Yeah, definitely
completely
send me
different
that.
story than if you watch the second half of it only. I mean, you're
That's
just
why you
like
gotta be
thinking,
so fucking
this fucking
careful with this
racist ass white woman is just like pulling out a gun on these fucking black people that just want to know why she's antagonizing them. When you find out they're antagonizing her and she apologized for everything that she may or may not have done, and that's fucked up, bro.
now. That is kinda fucked up, and that's crazy too. Because like I said, I would've just passed it on just like I was like, "Oh, this is terrible. I don't
Be
wanna
done
look at
with it.
another fucking
Yeah.
video
Yeah.
of this same bullshit that's been going
Mhm.
on." But that's kinda half the problem. I mean, like I was telling you earlier, most of these videos that you're seeing, regardless of how, it ends up, even if they were at the wrong, in this particular lady, sounds like both of them were in the wrong, but there's a lot of videos where one person is definitely in the wrong, but you don't get to see the whole thing from start to end. You see the worst part, or what part's
Yeah.
gonna, like, give you the best story or whatever the case may be, and
It's
that's
funny
kind
when
of
a
what's
news publication will pick up a video like this, and
oh,
then
yeah.
they'll do that sort of thing where they'll only use a part of the video to paint like a specific narrative, depending on which side the news station leans. You know what I mean? If it's CNN, they
Mhm.
go more liberal. If it's Fox, they do things that are more conservative. But it's always interesting because you see that all the time, and then you can like find the original video, and you'll be like, "Wow, they didn't include like a whole 5 minutes that completely changes what's going on in this," and it happens all the time. So yeah, I thought that was really fucked up, and I was really pissed off when I saw the second half that I didn't the first half that I didn't see when I first saw the first version of the video that I saw. So I got really upset because I thought to myself when I saw that, wow, here's some racist white lady in the middle of this shit that's going on right now where the racial tension is so high in the middle of our country and has been for years, but now it's at like an all-time fucking high in the
Right.
over the past like decade or so. And you're like pulling out a gun on this lady and her kids and stuff like that. And I was disgusted. But then I was even more disgusted. And I was also kind of disgusted with myself for just assuming that that was the whole story. So I
Yeah.
got
No,
really mad
100%.
at myself for thinking, oh, that's it. That's the whole fucking thing. So I was mad at that, the person, everyone involved with it, whoever posted any of the videos. But more than anything, I was upset with myself because I was just like, I should have known better. I should have known
Yeah.
better.
No, I mean, it's kinda like, I mean, you mentioned it with the TikTok thing where it's just people putting, random things
Bullshit.
out there, and
Yeah.
if you don't really do the research on some of these things, you could really get caught. I
I
mean,
got something to
your
tell you about
particular
that.
oh, Jesus Christ. You got again?
I did not get got. I as soon as I saw this thing, I looked it
You're like,
up.
"Oh, you call bullshit?"
Hilarious. It's fucking hilarious. So basically, this girl, she made a video on TikTok and she goes, so there is a science. She starts off by going, science has actually proved the Bible to be true.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Dude,
gonna let you guys know this right now. It didn't. It didn't happen. Science did not prove the Bible to be true. If
I
science proved
love
the Bible to be true, that would be the biggest fucking news story of all time. They would be pumping Bibles into goddamn schools because they'd
oh,
be like, "Well,
everywhere.
this is fact now."
Mhm. No, but I love because I saw the video too. I loved how she didn't
Yeah.
give any explanation. She's like, "Because this," and then she just went on to the next thing. It's like,
Mhm.
no, what are you
So
talking about?"
her whole the crust sorry.
Choking on
Basically
a
the
dick.
basis of her argument was, or not even an argument, her statement was that black people don't have that they proved that black people, geneticists have proved that black people don't have any Neanderthal DNA, meaning that they are the pure race or whatever, the first race, the original race that comes from the mythical creatures that are in the Bibles, that like the Nephilim and blah blah blah, children of angels and blah blah. Tons of nonsense, tons of bullshit. All the
Right.
things you believe in are a lie. Your faith is made up. You're a fool. You are a
Santa
fool. Just
Santa
start
Claus
going
is
on
real
there.
now.
No, but basically, what's it called? Yeah. So literally, I based on the track record of the things I've seen on TikTok, this has a, and then I looked and I see that all of her comments were disabled. And I was like, okay, I'm pretty
That's
sure I know
usually
what's
a
gonna happen
good
here. So
fucking indicator.
I literally go to Google. This it's infuriating me because TikTok is really doing this to people now. Where like one person will go on there and get 30, 50,000, 100,000 fucking likes, like thousands of shares and stuff like that, and people going, "Yeah, you go, you go, you go." And then all you have to do is go, "Do black people have Neanderthal DNA?" The very first thing said, black people have a surprisingly large amount of Neanderthal DNA. I was like, what the fuck, dude? What are you doing? What the fuck are you? Where are
And the
you
thing
getting
that
this
blows
evidence
my
from?
mind too is like she I mean, she could have just thought of this, what I mean? She obviously knew that she was wrong. She had to. Like, there's no way that she could be this
Well,
dumb.
she turned up the fucking comments. I'm
So
sure
it's
people were like,
probably
hey, did you Google this? Like, just fucking Google this.
I wonder how many
Dude,
of that shit is actually just people, like, trolling though, like,
I
and
think
realistically.
sometimes, but there are some people that like that is their specific narrative. Like, she's like a Bible person. I think she's
Yeah,
like a very religious, like Bible person. So I do think she thought she was
Bible man.
being honest and telling the truth. But it just aggravates me when it's like it's such a simple thing to just fucking Google it. I don't understand how you can make the mishap. And then I feel like it would either be your responsibility to do a response video and say like, "Hey, I fucked up. I was wrong about this," or take the fucking video down. But what does she do? She blocks the comments.
Well, naturally, I mean, that's the way
Fantastic.
to do
I
it.
love it so goddamn much. She
It's
was
how
like,
come, like,
"No."
when you're on YouTube and you see, like, there's, like, a new song that comes out from, like, some type of artist or whatever, and people put their own fucking music on there and put the title on there, and then they disable the comments because there's people gonna just be like, "Fuck you, you piece of shit. Your music fucking sucks, da, da, da." I fucking hate when people do that shit.
Oh
It's
my
like
god.
it's like getting catfish, dude. Not fucking not cool.
Oh my god. Did you see, did you hear that Vanilla Ice had to cancel his, concert in Texas because of the rising, like, he was getting a lot of shit because of the rising corona stuff?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not know that motherfucker even was
I
going
swear to
on.
God, I saw that and I was like, who the fuck would go to a Vanilla Ice concert?
Jesus,
What
I
is
mean,
like what the
yeah,
fuck? Like,
because
I can tell you right now, the only people that are going to be in the audience are Suge Knight and whoever's left from fucking Queen. That's
but
it.
that motherfucker's in prison, so Suge Knight's not coming. I mean, he
Dude,
might be
Suge
like
Knight
via
breaks out
satellite.
just to go to this thing, just to get his fucking bag. That's it. That's why Suge Knight breaks out.
You know, and he's like, I'm willing to. He's like, I got fucking life. I don't give a fuck. I will kill this white boy. No, that's actually funny you bring that up. I was when I was on the phone with Daniel earlier because he lives in Texas. He was
Mhm.
telling me that masks are mandatory, and if you don't have one, you get fined $250. Like,
Texas don't play.
nah. That's why they're gonna break off, bro, from the United States completely and just become their own fucking place.
Yeah, then they're bringing back the Confederate flags.
That's gonna be their
That's what
fucking
that
state
means.
flag. Their
Mhm.
state flag will be the Confederate flag with a couple
Yeah.
guns and Bud Light
Yep.
cans.
And they're gonna be like, this is where we put our queers. And it's just like the whole city's infrastructure is running on gay power. Like they're in hamster wheels underneath the fucking city. We put them to work.
There's gonna be some fucking like Mad Max type shit going on, dude.
Oh my god.
It's like someone's gonna go in
Imagine
for like
imagine they build a utopia though. What if we're all wrong?
it's like, well, I guess apparently the Southern Charm, that's the way to
I
go.
guess they knew what the fuck they were doing. And then the Congress is like, are we really considering bringing back slavery?
Oh god.
No,
That would be fucking terrible. So
no.
yeah, I just thought it's crazy. I know here in Florida, they in some counties it's mandatory, but there's no like repercussions for it. There's no
Did I
fine
ever
or
did I ever tell you
anything
about that
like that.
encounter I had with somebody when I forgot my mask while I was working?
Oh, they freak out on you?
Yeah. So I was inside of a store, and for those of you who don't know, I work as a merchandiser
He's actually
for
a sex worker.
for I'm not gonna say the name of the company, obviously, but hey, I was over here merchandising, stocking the stuff inside of a Walmart, the Walmart that is in the neighborhood that I basically used to live in for like the majority of my life. You know what I mean? Since I moved to Florida, so it was like my neighborhood Walmart, literally. Um, and I'm wearing headphones. I've got my AirPods in. So the guy goes, "Hey," he says the name of my company. He's like, "Hey, blah 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 guy," and I don't hear him. And he goes, "Hey, blah 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 guy. Hey, blah 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 guy." I don't hear him at all. I'm listening to a fucking podcast. Like, I'm just like,
Not
whatever.
ours.
I'm doing my shit. You know what I mean? And then he goes, "Hey, blah 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 guy." I'm like, "What the fuck?" I'm like,
Was he 6 feet away from you at least?
yeah, right. I fucking wish. So I forgot my mask that day because I was in a rush because I had to get to work on time because my alarm didn't go off for some reason. It was my old phone, which was like totally fucked and like always giving me problems. So
I'm
I'm
hearing
like,
a lot of excuses.
yeah, right. It's my fault. So I forgot my mask and I was just like, it is what it is. I forgot my mask. I'm just going to be in and out of stores. I'm not going to interact with people. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he's just like, you guys aren't required to wear masks. And I go, what's up? Because I've like got my headphones in. So I was like, what? You guys don't have to wear masks? And I was like, I smile a little because I was like, ah, man,
Got him.
someone's making a joke at me because I'm the asshole that forgot my mask. I was just like, so I smile a little bit. I'm like, yeah. And he goes, and before I even get to respond, he goes, no, it's not fucking funny. Do you see me smiling? And I
I
was
was like,
like,
I don't know. I can't see over your mask.
excuse me? And he goes, so I'm supposed to fucking die now because you don't wear a mask? And I go, first of all, I forgot my mask at home. And he goes, so how's that my problem? I said, it's not your fucking problem. Well, I didn't say that. I didn't say fucking problem.
Right.
I'm going to be honest. I was in a work setting. If I'm not wearing my work uniform, it's a much different story. The conversation goes very different if I'm not wearing my work shit. I'm very rude in person. In certain settings, I'm very like, so I'm working. So I'm just like, I'm not about to be rude to nobody. You know what I mean? I'm representing my company and everything like that. And I don't even, so basically, I go, no, I left it at home. And he goes, so I have to fucking die now. And I was just like, no, I mean, it is what it is. I left the mask at home. And then he starts talking to the Walmart employees. He's like, you let these guys in here fucking doing this stuff, they're gonna get us all killed. And I was just like, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, it is what it is. I left the mask at home, and that's the end of the story. I don't know. You can be as mad about it as you want to. And this I did say to him. I was like, you can be as mad about it as you want to, but
I'm not gonna change the fact that I forgot my mask.
Yeah. So it is what it is. But and then I finished doing what I was doing, and I was just like, and you have a great day, sir. And I walked out. Because I'm like, I'm representing my company. I'm not about to be mean about it, not rude or anything like that. So then I was talking to somebody later, and I told them what happened. And I was like, this nigga was wearing a mask. Like, I was like, why is he coming at me about how I don't have a mask on? Like, I'm going to get him sick. How are you going to get sick? You have a fucking mask on, dude.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the mask.
For me, your video is frozen. I don't know if it's still moving for you.
Yeah, it's moving for me.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. It doesn't matter if it is or not, but I mean.
All right. Yeah, now it's still moving on my end, so we're good.
Okay.
No, but that's just crazy though. I mean, like you said, dude, he probably was a little overreacting on that whole thing.
Oh no, he was definitely like, he had the vibe of like a fucking like a Vietnam vet who wasn't all there still, you know?
Shit.
Yeah. He was like on that kind of shit where I was just like, dude, fucking, don't you have anything better to do? Why aren't you yelling at all the other people who aren't wearing, like, that's what I was thinking to myself. I'm just like, there's like 30 people around you not wearing masks, and he didn't say anything to them.
No, nothing.
He picked me out because I was wearing a uniform and working, and I'm just like,
fuck off.
You're a piece of shit, dude.
Off, dude.
And I was just like, if I wasn't in my fucking uniform, dude, I would have got in your face, bro. Like, I would have gotten in your fucking face.
We would have seen a fucking video on Facebook.
Man.
Oh,
dude, did you hear that Jason Momoa is gonna voice Frosty the Snowman in the live action remake of Frosty the Snowman?
would have been fucking terrible, man.
Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Your audio's not doing so great.
No?
Yeah, for a second there you were like just gone for a while.
Oh god, that's not good.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying what's that?
No. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I did not even know that they were making a live action.
Dude, me neither.
Frosty the Snowman.
I had no fucking clue about this. I saw this on Twitter today. I was just looking at what was trending on Twitter, and one of the things was Jason Momoa was cast to do the voice for Frosty the Snowman. And what I thought was funny was that it said live action. I love this whole live action thing. We've talked about this before when we talked about like The Lion King and Aladdin.
Yeah.
It's like, sorry, live action. He's not gonna be there. Like, he's just doing the voice, and maybe everyone else is live action, but the character of Frosty is gonna be CGI. So it's not live. He's not. It's just fucking stupid. It's like the Lion King movie remake being live action.
And what if you're fucking completely wrong and we watch the movie and it's just a fucking jacked, yoked fucking
white.
snowman? Yeah, just put a fucking goddamn carrot on his nose and a couple buttons. Yeah, and then in this one, he really method acts it, so he lives in the fucking Arctic naked for like 6 months and really captures that inner Frosty spirit. He gets frostbite on his dick and it falls off.
Speaking of putting Jason Momoa in whiteface, essentially, what's it called? Remember how remember how I was telling you about how they were taking down what was it, The Color Purple? And I told you that whole story about how my friend didn't want to watch Oh Brother Where Art Thou because she said the movie was racist, because in the movie like people use the N-word or like racial slurs or stuff like that. And I was trying to talk to her about like, yeah, it's a period piece, and in that time like people thought it was okay, and that's the point. Like, you look at that and you go, that's clearly not okay. So apparently people are calling for the show Mad Men. I don't know if you ever saw Mad Men. I love that show.
I never saw it. I heard really good things about it, but that's another period piece where it's set
takes place in like I want to say like late 40s, early 50s. If I'm right or wrong about that, I'm not sure. And like
Probably
it
wrong.
all surrounds like this specific guy named Don Draper, played by John Hamm, who works at an ad agency, and it's like all about like the whole idea of these men that worked at these ad agencies and blah blah blah. But anyways, there's a scene in one of the seasons where one of the main characters does blackface, and he does like the whole like Jim Crow like tar with the like little hat,
Good.
and he's got like his lips like fucking like outlined with the tar,
Oh yeah, like the really
and
bad
he's
racist one.
doing a yeah, he's doing the whole fucking thing, and he's singing and he's fucking like shucking and jiving, like doing the whole ridiculous routine, and everyone, and it's at like a dinner party, and everyone's laughing about it or some shit, and when you watch it, you feel super uncomfortable, which is what you're supposed to feel because it's
Right.
super uncomfortable because this is so fucked up and racist and such a terrible thing, which they touch on a lot in that show because there's a character, I think his name is Salvador. He's an Italian guy that works at the agency. He's secretly gay that you don't even know about until later on.
They
You
are crafty.
suspect it because there's little hints here and there, and you can ultimately figure it out earlier than it's revealed. But
Mhm.
they illustrate like, oh, this was not a time when it was safe to be gay. You know what I mean? Because he's always
Mm.
on it. There are characters that come in later that are Jewish, and they get made fun of for being Jewish. They
Those are
make fun of
different
fucking
times, man.
dude. One of the main characters is a woman who gets a job there, and then at one point that she actually gets hired as a secretary, then moves up to become an ad person. And what was so funny is when she starts coming up with an ad, someone starts going like, someone makes a joke. They're just like, they're staring at her through a window, and they're like, it's amazing, and they're all like in awe. And someone goes like, it's like a monkey like writing on a typewriter or something. Like it was just like the most fun. But that's the time, and you understand
Yeah.
it, and you go, oh, I get it. Like it's definitely not okay, but that's the point, that it wasn't okay, and they thought it was,
Could
and
you,
it creates
go
a
ahead.
conflict with you because you start to go, oh, I really like these characters, but then you go, but they also have some really terrible ideas and concepts that they agree with, and you go, that feels so weird. You're just like, how can I like this character who's the main character of this thing? The main character is a fucking alcoholic womanizer who constantly cheats on his wife with like different women every single week, who actually stole the identity of someone who died in the war that he was in, took his life, faked his own death, started a new life with that identity,
Damn.
and is just this huge fucking scumbag. But you love him. And it is what it is. I mean, everybody is super flawed in that, but that's the point. And it takes place during a time period where basically America was nothing but flaws. So
Mm.
they're calling for that scene to be taken down, and the AMC refused. They denied to take it down, but they said they'd add a disclaimer. And I was just like, yeah, I feel like that's fucking appropriate.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I mean, at
why
that
would you
point, yeah.
pretend like it didn't happen? That's like saying like, oh, these type of things didn't happen. It happened. Let's acknowledge them. Otherwise, why are we gonna fucking wash over history and pretend like this terrible shit didn't happen? Isn't the point that we acknowledge everything did happen and it wasn't okay?
No, I agree with you. There's a lot of that shit that's kind of just like getting to the point where it's just irritating. Where every single day I'm looking on on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and seeing
Mhm.
another TV show. This is getting removed. We talked about last episode a couple TV shows like 30 Rock.
Yeah, yeah,
A
yeah.
couple of them that have been doing that, but I mean every single day I'm seeing more and more doing it. And like you're saying, it's a period piece. It's not meant
Yeah.
to, necessarily promote what that is. It's just to show you this is how it was.
No,
And
of course
it
not.
gives you that nasty feeling when you're watching it because it's supposed to. It's a bad fucking
Mhm.
thing. It's not supposed to
Yeah.
be like,
If
applauded
you
at.
watch that and you're like thinking, "Wow, that's funny. I really like that. I agree." Then you need to fucking reevaluate yourself. You're clearly not in on what's really going on there. That's like people who watched Robert Downey Jr. do the character in
That's what
Tropic
I was
Thunder,
about to say. That whole movie's
and
gonna
they were
have to
like,
be
"Oh,
fucking
that's so
gone
funny,
now.
he's making fun of black people." That's not what he was doing. He's making fun of people that think it's okay to do blackface. That's the
Hmm.
point. That's the whole point of it. And the point of this is to illustrate that at that time they thought it was okay to do this. And they illustrate that perfectly because in the middle of him doing the scene, not Robert Downey Jr. in Mad Men, in the middle of him doing the scene, they pan to everybody else and they're all laughing and looking at it like it's so fucking funny. Like it's the funniest shit they've ever seen in their lives.
Right.
And that's how you know you're just like, wow, everyone thought this was fucking not just like okay, but they fucking loved this shit. And it creates this real conflict within yourself because you're just like, wow, I kind of liked these characters before. And then you're just like, am I supposed to keep liking them now? Like, what the fuck, dude? Yeah,
Yeah, but
it's bizarre, but that perfectly illustrates like the way the world really is that nothing's black and white, everything's gray. You know what I mean? Like everything's up for interpretation. And yeah, I think it's just disingenuous to pretend like these things didn't happen. Like I don't agree with glorification of things like slavery or anything like that, but to just try and pretend like nothing happened, I think is more upsetting to me than having to see.
Yeah, no. If I was,
I would
yeah,
want to
I'll
know
agree
that
on that.
like, these crimes and atrocities happened. You know what I mean? Like now people are saying you can't say Nazi. Like Nazi is become an offensive term. Imagine like in like a couple of years they're gonna be like you can't say racist. You can't call people fucking racist or something. Like it's so fucking weird. I don't understand where we're going with this whole thing because like now you can't say Nazi.
I've
So
never heard that you can't say Nazi. What do you mean you
yeah,
can't say Nazi? Like it's
there's a
offensive
whole
to the Nazis? Who gives a fuck?
That's
They're
right, that's what
Nazis.
I'm saying. That's what the fuck I'm saying. I don't
Like,
understand who are you offending? Who are
right.
you offending the Nazis? Because who gives a shit if you offend the Nazis?
They're fucking Nazis. Fuck them.
But apparently it's become offensive to say Nazi now. You can't call people Nazis, you can't say Nazis. You're somehow making light of the Holocaust if you make fun of Nazis or you use the word Nazi.
That's
And
the
I'm like,
dumbest fucking
dude,
thing. I can understand if you
that's
like
stupid, dude.
if you called like a Jewish person a Nazi, I'd be upset. Like if I was that
Dude,
person,
as
but
like honestly, like I always make fun of my what's it called? The fact that like I have Jewish ancestry on my father's side, you know what I
what, you're
mean?
Jewish?
I know, right?
I couldn't have fucking seen with those fucking Jew
Let me take my
curls.
yarmulke off real quick. All right.
Yarmulke, yarmulke.
What's it called? And what's it called? When I was a kid, I was always uncomfortable with the idea of me being Jewish. And I think a lot of that stemmed from like stuff from South Park,
Adam,
you know what I
I was
mean?
gonna say Adam Sandler movies will probably make you want to not be Jewish.
Dude, I fucking loved 8 Crazy Nights, and that was probably the only time where I was like, "Damn it, I kinda wish I was Jewish." Because like,
Uh,
although I have like, genetics of it,
you're not that
religiously, I'm
actually.
not.
Yeah,
I never was. My mother is Catholic, my dad was raised Christian, even though he has his Jewish heritage.
we call those
So
blood Jews.
yeah, right?
No
Dude,
religion,
that's a
just
dope fucking movie right there. Blood
the blood
Jews?
Jews.
That sounds
You,
like some fucking, like, 60s B movie shit, dude.
we just got to get Seagal on board.
Oh my god, yes. No, but I was definitely uncomfortable with it, just like from the fact that South Park made fun of it so much, you know what I mean? It definitely took like being Jewish was never considered to be like a cool thing. And then they were like, now it's extra not cool, you know what I mean? And I but then at a certain point I was just like, no, I like who I am and I'm okay
You
with my
shouldn't.
heritage and stuff like that. Yeah, I know. I'll go back on that. Get the noose ready.
Yeah, please, please. Actually,
Start using my
can you
powers.
film this while you do that? Actually, get more views that way. No, I was actually going to bring up. Could you imagine if you remember that controversy a little while back with Drake and his blackface thing?
Oh
You
my
remember that?
god.
Now, like it'd be. I think it'd be so much different than what it was. I mean, but ultimately, the story, from what I remember, is he was part of some. Like it was back when he wasn't even a rapper. He was just acting and stuff.
Yeah. I heard about this from the whole Pusha T thing
Yeah,
when he dropped the story of Adidon. Oh,
yeah, dude,
fuck.
fucking murder.
The most
Pusha murdered
disrespectful
him,
shit I've ever heard in
dude.
my life, bro.
That was like the most disrespectful. Like it brought me back to like the Tupac Biggie shit. Like when Tupac said, like, oh my god, it was
That's why I
some
fucked
of
your
that type of
bitch.
shit. Yeah, fat, yeah, yeah, dude. He went in on that, but and then the fucking Eminem and Ja Rule
Oh
beef
my
back
god.
then. And that actually brings me up. We briefly talked about it on the phone, but yo, if anyone knows Ja Rule's Cash App, his information, send that motherfucker some money because he needs that shit more than we do, bro.
He's fucking what's it called?
So what do we ultimately decide? What is the actual name of that food? Gyro or gyro?
So where I come from in New
From
York, we always call them gyros, but I've heard people call them gyros. So, and whenever I see somebody call it a gyro, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
they
it's a
probably look at you the same
but
way.
honestly, I've heard like I think I've heard it actually is a gyro. So I don't know, man. But
Anyways, it's a fucking restaurant for that gyro thing, and it is
gyro gyro.
gyro. That's what it's called. And it is the worst fucking video or commercial that has ever been made. It looked like it was made by a fucking 12-year-old 20 years ago. The the transitions are so shitty and stock. The
Whoever made that,
Photoshop
whoever made that video definitely still has an AOL email account or like Hotmail or something like that. Like
they made that shit with the dial-up internet. It looked like that. It was fucking garbage. And this motherfucker's parading around. And the funniest part is when I don't know if it's the owner or like the chef, it's like little person, like they Photoshop
yeah.
video. He's like dancing on the oven or some shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Dude.
I thought it was a joke. It's legit.
Bro, I don't even know.
50 Cent murdered that motherfucker. Sorry, Ja.
Let me what's it called? Did I never told you about this fucking thing. It's like a long story though.
Want to save it for next episode?
Yeah, fuck it. It's like a long story. It's like a long fucking story.
Yeah, we can save it for next episode. And honestly, I'm pretty sure our video fucked up this go around. So this might just be an
really?
Yeah.
Why?
It's being a little bitch. It keeps like freezing in and out.
Yours came back for me like maybe like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, yours went in and out a couple times. So we'll have to look into that and see what the fuck's going on with the whole video thing. At least we got the audio though.
Shit.
Fucking just quit the podcast. I'm done.
Dude, I'm done.
I'm done.
More juice? No, I'm just kidding. Fucking comes over here and beats the shit out of me.
Yeah, the last thing we see is just a fucking cup flying and hit you in the head.
No, baby, no.
Wait, didn't you? I thought you murdered her 2 days into the pandemic.
Jesus Christ, man. We've been doing what's it called? Couples therapy. Honestly, thank God, because with the whole fucking pandemic that happened, man, we were fighting so fucking much. It was like every single day.
Is, and it's like you don't have any fucking space. Like no matter how much you love that person, you still need some type of space. So yeah.
I talked to my mom about it, and I was just like, started doing couples therapy, and she's like, "Oh wow, that's cool." And I was like, "Yeah, we've been fighting like fucking crazy, bro, like so much." And she was like, "Oh, that's funny because me and my boyfriend, we haven't been fighting at all." And I was just like, "It's not a contest, bitch. Like, relax."
I would have been like, "Hey, what happened to Dad then?"
Yeah, right. Really,
really, motherfucker.
Yeah, I know. Like, she was just like, I mean, I guess I'm winning. I'm like, dude, like nobody's fucking winning right now.
Unless you are on TikTok, then you're fucking double winning because you get to watch awesome videos and tracked by the Chinese government. So
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
How are we doing on time?
Let me double check. We're at an hour and 1 minute.
I'm cool to wrap it up if you are.
I mean, I don't really like wrapping it up. You could tell by my child, me having kids.
Oh, man.
But I'm definitely good to wrap this up. Hopefully, we'll check and see with the video what happened with that. If not, I mean, we at least got the audio out. We'll put that out.
Yeah, for sure. But
all right, guys. Thank you, Will Smith, again for saving us from the aliens.
Will Smith, you got to take care of this Washington Redskins thing. Yeah, I hope the Redskins come out
first, bro. Let him fucking handle his own shit.
I hope the Redskins come out and they go, yeah, they do like a press conference and they're talking to the media and they go, we just want to formally come out and say this has been under wraps for years, but we actually got permission from Will Smith to call our
No, so here's the thing, real quick before we end this. I will give them a pass to keep the name, but they have to wear those old leather helmets while everyone else wears like, they have to wear the old uniforms where there's no padding. And so,
Dude,
I mean, if you want to keep the name that bad,
and if they're gonna use steroids, they have to do it like the old school way. Like it's got to come from horse piss.
yeah, I thought it was semen. Oh God, have I been doing it wrong this whole time? I wonder why I just kept getting my
Like
belly.
I'm trying to get my baby to be a fucking bodybuilder.
I'm just injecting horse semen. I was like, oh. I figured if I just went straight to the source.
Dude, that reminds me of that fucking kid. Do you remember that like young bodybuilder? Little Hercules.
Yeah.
That fucking kid who was like fucking brolic as shit when he was like 6 years old.
Schwarzenegger shit.
Have you seen him lately? He's like just a normal fucking guy. We were like, oh, we're gonna end this episode here, and then we go off and start talking about like injecting babies with horse cum and shit. Anyways, all right, guys, we really appreciate you listening, all 5 of you. That's 2 more than last week.
Yeah, my grandparents are listening now.
From heaven?
Yeah, but they get good reception.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I really appreciate it. I'm just fucking with you, man. I'm fucking with you. There's no such thing as heaven. But yeah, we really appreciate it, guys. This was another episode of the Cleaning Out My Closet podcast. And it was all original cast, no guest episode. That's why Ginger Sean's not here, no guests. And yeah, tune in for our next episode. Follow us on all our social medias at Real Clean Closet on Twitter, Instagram. You can find us on Facebook by our full name or at Real Clean Closet. Either one, you can find us on Facebook there. Apple Podcast, Anchor, Google Podcast.
Basically anywhere that you can fucking find podcasts.
If you're watching YouTube, you find us on YouTube with the video. But yeah, see you next time, and kiss your dad for us.
Mwah.
Fuck you.
Eat a dick, motherfucker. You get Craig to fuck off. Hey, Craig, fuck off.
Now recording. Unnatural.
Where the fuck is this goddamn thing? Oh, there it is.
Imagine we can change Craig to Palpatine.
Dude, that'd be sexy.
Now, using the dark side of the Force.
Now check